How long have you been the chairman of the VDC of Sanyang?
About a year.
About a year.
About a-
But
okay,
I serve,
okay.
the former VDC as the Secretary General of
Oh,
the
okay.
VDC.
So you have a history of how things go there. And one thing is commendable: the structures they have, the Bulundala,
Bulundak, the
Bulundak.
Council of Elders, the Council of
And that is
Elders.
important.
And then
Okay.
even the VDC
Ika
itself, we
Sotole,
have one.
and-
They have one of the most brilliant VDCs in the
But the reason, by the
I
way,
think you have former
Yeah,
ministers.
yeah, Major
the reason
Boja.
why
Former
I wanted to
Interior
highlight
Minister.
that,
Yeah.
there are so many villages, we hear so many VDCs, we hear so many WDCs. To have it and for it to be functional and effective, completely different.
Theirs is functional.
And that's the reason. Because in regards to this issue, you understand, we highlight the effectiveness, the productivity, and functionality of a body. When you have issues, that's when you know those things. Just to say that they have it because maybe the law allows for it, or the acts allow for it, it's there by name. But when a crisis exists, that's when you know whether those people are worth their salt. A lot more time I elected this question. Now, you have highlighted the steps Alia Minta, which is commendable. And I hope that at the end of the day, when we get to the end of the tunnel, it will yield the desired results that you guys are yearning for or you want as a community or as the entire whatever. Now, however, my questions or my concerns here is, we already have the existing port in Banjul, right? Have we ever seen a data, right, from that to tell us that the turnover in that port that warrant for another port, right, to come up? That is because if we're talking about a port that is 3 times or whatever bigger than the Lekki ports, then it will be 25 times bigger than the Banjul ports.
Yeah.
Okay? So, is there any data that shows we need another port, not only another port, but a port as big as what is being talked about? Like you said, you guys have not seen a master plan, you haven't seen
The project
a
proposal.
project proposal, which are key. It's not only to tell us I'm going to build a port that is this big, in this magnitude. You know what I mean? It's not only enough. But there should be documentation to back that. And the reason that's why I'm saying that data should have been there to show you know what? We have outgrown the existing port in terms of the turnover, and it's yielding the revenue that warrants us to maximize our gains. We need to build another port. And not only another port, but a port as big as that. We have to be dealing with statistics and figures and data. It's important. That is how a country develops. That is how an institution flourishes for the benefit of the people. You understand? But with what you have explained, and again, we've had the MD also went and talked about so many issues, right? Which, of course, is not favorable according to you guys or what we have had and all that. A lot needs to be done. And even all these meetings that you had, for them to even acknowledge that, like I say, it can more chodi. Contractor ka foeko, ntol ma lonnu abe nyinkela. That's a huge lapse, a flaws. Because that contractor shouldn't, where did he get the mandate? All of a sudden to just get up and start serving flyers and things like that, creating panic in a community that's been existing before your company became a company, or even before you as the head of the company or the owner was born. You know what I mean? So that is really incompetence if you ask me. Again, that's panic, it's unnecessary. Now, all those documents are not there. My brother here has talked about the environmental impact assessment. We don't know whether that exists because they have not shown us. Yeah. So in the absence of us knowing that it exists, we can hold on to it doesn't exist. It's not there. Unless they come out and say we have held it here and there, here and there. But then again, it's not your problem for you guys to do that. It's them who's supposed to do it. But to cover yourself, because now you're hinting that this might potentially go to court. Because it looked like you guys will not get to a settlement. It'll be important if you also work on that to get it in place to ensure that when you get there, it doesn't become a stumbling block in the process should you go to court. I wish you guys can amicably settle and not go to court. But at the end of the day, it all talks about the governance structure of this country, right? The number of houses, look at the discrepancy, because this shouldn't have been an issue of Kimunge number B, Kimunge number B. An assessment should have been done and documented that people can reference Because I'm sure that if that was there, an assessment was done, and it features, it highlights it's 1,000 households affected, it's 2,000 households, or it's 300 households. He will not come and sit on a platform as big as the Bantaba on Kirfatu and tell us what they say is way under what really exists. So which means there is not a document to back their claims. Yeah. So in the absence of all these things, I will advise that the government, the ministry, the ports, whoever, the contract, whoever is behind this or is responsible, if, because it's a norm, that's why I'm even thinking in that line, if there are any backhand or whatever happening here, for you guys to think this is a viable business for the Gambia or the people of Sanyang, I will say backtrack. Go sit and have a discussion and rethink. Gis nga man, anything lo xamne dafa yaha elef, aha ak yelef doomi Adam, duma ko support, duma ci anda. Anything lo xamne dañ ko def in the name of development, but in actual fact, it's not bringing development. Man duma ko support, duma ci anda. Anything lo xamne indi lu njëriñ askan Gambian bi ak Gambia jëm kanam ak yokkute, man duma ci anda. Namo ka fu ñame talibo ning sinklingo ye kontong ya faale ko
sinklingo ye kontong
ya faale ko yara fan
no
ya faale yara fan again from his explanation, which is really convincing and splendid and spot on, and you can tell he's not even struggling to defend or justify issues, things like that. He knows what he's talking about. But then again, from what they have started is piecemeal. The minister has said something, the director has said something. I think they need to really dialogue. And you know what? Keep on this telephone call. Ni minister you call ya fire buba port ko ya fire ko mbizitale. Kana telephone di amuke. Yes, affair okay.
Let them be official.
Yeah, yes, affair okay, because the channel that you talked about, we don't want to be. Yes, affair okay. Ni port after diamo, yes, affair okay. Ni nata je ime Sarah. Ime Sarah. Inata je. No, idanku, inata alia, idanku, bari ala make sure ne alia picture so, ta alia video, ta kumo membe satale je mituno dula, alia video, alia record, alia muta. Ntebe wole fule. Because in this country, people get twisting and flopping and flipping like the wind. They can change things. Again, you have said it here, which was very, very important. Masakunda be kuoku minto. Itol ila lafo dorang ika wole jube. It manke ko mo dollar interest. Itol lafta minna ika wole jube. And on natara sen buga mo opa, duñ hold the effects after. Ñom dañoo forcé te dégala doole bi su ñom la nekk suñ forcé génn ngeen fii di xeex seen nit ku dee ba tey yéen a ngi dem court how many years now exactly court bi jeexut understand nga te ki dee na famille am ñàkk nañ dara génnut si te ñiñ bugg a yóbbu court te ki rey moom lañ war a nekk di yóbbu court kooku nekkuñ di ko yóbbu court so that is an example for you to know ne you have to cover your back
Nene lu nga wax yëpp thank you very much am na solo trop
so léegi ibe
bari mbegeen la laftale pour ning nga ports bi am sitting in for talibo nga ports la managing director o Ibrahima Silla nga kili e na siñing sirango kan
yes ay na si talibo ko di
talibo
ay na
siñing sirango kan nga kumol ñinen ka roke e senendir roke because wo kumma ya tale andu ñanta ye
so say yedol bela mo
amanke Sanyang la issue this is a national issue
and
I think everybody should make it their business to speak to the truth and speak against things that are going to be harmful to everybody.
All right, thank you so much.
So, nkala nene mba kuma salatal min fa kuma ta baba kede ninko sanyam bi la julut sorta bora julot kilintu ya jale kabiri tel paredon dal fanam paredal ni la COC ndaka the first thing kana secretary assignment na wala attendant listening pura dada the minister himself have to register and sign
customer
ni lunkara be Sanyang na be meeting wala wati
ni bat ni
wala that's very
we have
important
all those things. And then the second thing you can secretary assignment na wala nyinto the minutes of the meeting and then 2 days after the meeting I assigned my secretary for all the stakeholders in Sanyang the task force here be sat minutes on the minutes thank you ndel ko bekela we take videos Sanyang right now we nga TikTok phone ko fango jale
TikTok account.
Yes. Ni a gibe video do fon jale.
Aya falje.
Nala nyen sibiti lo meeting. Na SDF afa abije nka fengo be sen na SDF le minibe to awdu fana yala moy minister minafo director minafo VDC kiamano minafo councilor minafo do ko tay minafo na keba min fon folo de amuda je wolon bulunda nin council of elders be la kiamano se ko be bojang ako minister la ko ntel man karanga ndingol wulu pour eta kara wala ngela kara mojo bi min be mutari wala bulu wala be mutari ntel bulu
Absolutely.
because ila ta ke ki kara modo adalilo molti ndele kaytu kayti fena ndele mi ya lon ka bota VDC le o bota tax force le mba sayna ni mbul kumbala la mbul kumbala bar na mam bonni ni bul ndel dem bul kumbala ñin na tan di ko sañam bebe kankilin
tamu ban la fa ñun kala alkalo ni gal communication before prior before na sata ko as because port gal ñun they were communicating with the alkalo directly at some point
kaje fana senandi ngama ita fangalo na local government agreement for yiriwa na bi na sate to the entry point is VDC.
VDC, yes.
Not the alkali. Ni yiriwa ani tara alkala ba fulata VDC kiamano ya. Ni tara do ko da ba fulata. Ano na futata ndafanan na. Nte kundimo o ni na executive no dalda mabuka si ka foko yes no sonta nyina la ba kelal. The access it have to be in consultation with the community. Andon katamandiro ka wala. Nka bulunda kumanle na council of elders command.
No, your VDC is well organized.
Because
the alcalde was in communication with them at some point. Yes, and I believe at that point the VDC were not even informed. When the VDC was not even informed.
But I'm sure that has been taken care of.
Yes, that have been when I go at the signing minna, the signing from be metembo min the Sanyang be mu kankilin.
Okay, you have solved that problem now.
Yes. What problem of solve fell and betembo min the Sanyang be mu kankilin. And no, min kumata je wala nyindi ko ntelon kidikasot wala VDC.
No, simple about level low actually empower.
B ntel sonta minna wala sate sonta wala. Sate sonta minna ntel sonta wala.
We are elected
Because ntel be sa community nyim wala safka.
Okay.
Mantaram fon safka be community nyina sa. So community be d'accord minna. Ntel fana wala na lo dula ta kaje ko mansakunda tamandiro ka wala. Nim mansakunda balante ko ta tamandiro kala wala. First nusula da min bele bulu yo be fena. Na expert sol na technocrat sol eta si ya gibe. Na tara na famin bije wala siata mantorote. Nsa singa kaja. Bore min fanga mo ko bete. Ni ko be duna wande korda ko ne ka sawu nim fen sola. Wala nyi kelo be sawu sanya. Poro nazale Gambia Ports Authority na dunda sanya mantane bundale sawunda nim fen sola. Ni non fitinoti.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Gay. Thank you for coming.
Well, one important thing, I know time bantale. One final thing I want to tell you guys. You know, when it comes to the affairs of entire Sanyang, ngalong ko mol be dula politically, it will be a affiliation or soto. You understand? Individually, you can affiliate. It's your right. It's your constitutional right. But when it comes to this VDC, the tax force, the Bulunda, the Council of Elders, when they're administering the affairs of Sanyang as a village, right? Let them be apolitical. Because near politics bulaje dorong kolte tala. Andong problemo doron nebenala. I'll try. Nia lafi. Ite yeke organizing secretary of Henry Gomez ala party. Bari nan nata bo la personal right. Bari nan nata VDC la ko wo na fo bula ya samba jana ye ko jube ko na mol Sanyang la mol or whatever. Nke yamar dorong because yalong nim mo be kan aka fero be la try pour que fatandi. Ya understand? Pour kal tala abe fengol be tara abe anaka kodo tala abe family use la abe ilatero use la abe call use la pour ate la vitamine abe sotora ando nyinul natara nyimporo a jarate la wala ebe call be kela bari altol you guys have to be a formidable force. You speak one voice and act in one voice. If you do that, you will emerge victorious, but otherwise they will break you.